How do you know there isn't something interesting hidden in your house right now? Maybe in the basement, the attic, or even in the washing machine. In today's video, we've gathered a bunch of stories of household discoveries that you'll never forget. Like many 90s kids, this guy lived by the motto, "Gotta catch 'em all," and collected Pokemon cards. 25 years later, he found his collection in the attic and, along with a dose of nostalgia, ended up with $40,000. Sometimes real treasures can show up in Grandpa's garage, like this legendary 1974 De Tomaso Pantera worth almost $100,000. This supercar sat untouched for 40 years. Apparently, it was one of those impulse buys you'd never use, but can't bring yourself to sell. It all started like an action-adventure movie. A grandmother leaves her grandson some family relics, but never gets the chance to tell him where she hid them. The search could have dragged on for months, but a team of people with metal detectors scoured the property and, slowly but surely, found the treasure cache. Happy hunting! It's not every day that a 4.56 billion-year-old meteorite falls into someone's house. This space rock, as old as the solar system itself, punched through the roof of a home in New Jersey. Luckily, no one was hurt, and the meteorite itself will be sent to a museum. Shocking! Cleaning out the garage almost blew up the whole town. The homeowner found 50 sticks of dynamite that were 60 years old. No one knows why his grandfather kept them, but all the residents had to be evacuated so the explosives could be safely neutralized. During renovations in an old apartment building in Budapest, workers found 60 kilograms of secret German documents from 1944. Now, descendants can learn more about their relatives and preserve the names of those who never made it out of the ghetto. One man was digging a well when the whole thing turned into a discovery. He pulled a massive chunk of copper out of the ground where it had been forming for hundreds of years. This guy was digging a trench in his yard when he stumbled upon a mysterious rusty case, and inside were 10 shells that were already about 100 years old. The chances of finding 2 fighter jets in your grandfather's backyard are slim, but never zero. No one realized that a Frank Abagnale-level con artist had lived in this house until it was being torn down. Hidden inside were professional seals and engraved plates with coats of arms for forging Soviet-era documents. But who the person actually was is still a mystery. Only in Yakutia can you be working in your garden and accidentally dig up mammoth tusks more than 10,000 years old. And only on our channel can you see many more amazing finds like this. So subscribe.
The last mammoth. Wow!
Along with his country property, this man also got an armored personnel carrier. The APC had been buried for 80 years, and after a safety inspection, it'll be sent to a museum. We've already seen secret rooms. Now take a look at a secret bar. No one had been here for about 80 years, but during Prohibition, this place was definitely popular. A guy from Kazakhstan was digging in his backyard when he came across a stone slab with unusual patterns. What is it? An 18th century sarcophagus or a ritual site? The question is still open. A clever grandfather left his grandson documents for 4 gold bars instead of the gold itself. But after a 2-day quest across the property, he finally got the result he was hoping for. Chris bought a new house in Middlesbrough, but had no idea he would find a bunker in the garden. It had been flooded for 40 years because the previous residents used the space to water the garden. But now it would be nice to restore the whole thing, just in case. This family discovered they were living in a museum. During renovations, they found an entire treasure trove inside the walls. Just look at this rare 1937 Kalamazoo Gazette. Inside the tube were also posters, paintings, and maps from the beginning of the last century in perfect condition. And as a bonus, there were old coins and jewelry. It all looks completely unreal, and the owners can't believe their house kept this secret for decades. When you move into a new house, you usually want to invite friends over for a housewarming party. But this guy may need to invite the Winchester brothers. In the attic and basement, he found all kinds of occult stuff, from a creepy cross to a black box with a Ouija board. Next come the strange noises and voices at night, but if he gets ahead of it now, he still has a chance not to become the plot of a supernatural horror movie. What can you find behind a mirror? Maybe an entrance to another world? A safe full of treasure? Or a collection of alcohol from the 70s. Well, aged champagne ain't bad either. This girl picked up a beautiful dresser from the side of the road, but the finds didn't end there. Inside were some old rings. Do you think she should look for the owner? A bathroom renovation partly paid for itself when the owners unexpectedly found several 100,000 yen bills and a 10-ounce silver bar inside the wall. While renovating a 500-year-old house, an Englishman found a secret tunnel behind the library wall leading to a safe. After a few attempts, they got it open. Inside were books from 1848 about the history of the house and a letter from the Marquess of Northampton from 1837. It must have been important if someone hid it in that wall. For decades, farmers had been growing grapes above a Roman villa that archaeologists had been searching for more than a century. The 1,700-year-old mosaic was lying just 1 meter underground and was perfectly preserved. But there could be even more finds deeper down. In Grandma's attic, you can find more than just junk. You might find a 2,000-year-old mummy. A 10-year-old boy was playing in the house when he found 3 strange boxes. Inside were a mummy, a clay funerary mask, and a vessel for storing internal organs. It turned out that 70 years ago, his grandfather brought this souvenir back from Africa and forgot about it. Old age, I guess. Workers found a creepy old painting hidden under the ceiling, and something tells me people don't hide things like that for no reason. I hope they didn't wake up some kind of ghost. When this man found his grandma's jewelry box, he had no idea it would be this interesting. Inside was beautiful costume jewelry more than 60 years old and a lovely onyx locket. Nothing valuable, you might say. The value of these things is in the stories they carry. And now the jewelry will start a new chapter because his wife is gonna wear it. This story feels like the plot of The Best Offer. A man found the original Norman Rockwell painting Breaking Home Ties behind a wall in his artist father's house. For years, a copy was believed to be the original, and it seems his father may have painted that copy himself. And who knows how many more secrets like that are out there. Maybe even the Mona Lisa isn't real. No wonder all the neighbors are gathering around, because this man found an Anglo-Saxon cruciform brooch on his property that's around 1,200 years old. These builders opened a time capsule that was almost 100 years old. So what did our ancestors leave behind? Well, newspapers, flyers, and a ticket to a game. Not much, but I love finds like this. In 2011, police in Rome became treasure hunters. All over the city, they searched for hidden stashes belonging to a gang of apartment burglars and returned several million euros worth of property to its owners. They say money doesn't grow on trees, but one man at least managed to find thousands of dollars under his outdoor deck. Time for him to buy a lottery ticket. While renovating his house, a Spanish man found an 11-meter bas-relief behind the wall. It turned out to be part of the facade of a church built in 1347 by architect Andrés de Vandelvira. Now, this won't be a house anymore, but a tourist attraction, and the owner doesn't regret a thing. A Ukrainian man found out that his ordinary country property used to be a battlefield when he dug up a 400-year-old Cossack battle bell. This farmer discovered a Tyrannosaurus on his ranch. Well, its skeleton to be exact, along with teeth the length of a wine bottle, 38 centimeters. This was the biggest monster in history, so it's a good thing we only see dinosaurs in movies now. Apparently, if you walk carefully around a landfill, you can stock up on gadgets for free. No guarantee that they work, but the life hack counts. To reach the Jurassic period, all this Portuguese man had to do was start renovating. That's when he found a 25-meter brachiosaurid skeleton in his yard, dating back from 100 to 160 million years. Along with a car buried in a field, this woman also got the opportunity to solve a mystery, but this time with the police's help. Removing a 500-kilogram World War II bomb from the garden of a home in Plymouth turned into a full-blown action scene, with residents being evacuated within a 500-meter radius and 100 Army and Navy personnel brought in for the operation. Luckily, the bomb was later defused at sea. Behind the rusty door of an old barn, a rare Mopar e-body collection had been hiding for decades, including 3 vintage Plymouth Barracudas and a 1971 Dodge Challenger convertible. Even in rough condition, these are still real holy grails for collectors. A Frenchman named David Dalago decided his house design wouldn't be complete without a fighter jet on the roof. So with the help of a crane, he installed a decommissioned 17-meter Jaguar A21. There's no way any of his neighbors are topping that. This guy made it to the end of the rainbow and, with a metal detector in hand, actually found a leprechaun's pot. And unfortunately, someone had already gotten to the contents first. When you're using a metal detector, you never know what you might find. An old tin can or a 13.6 kilogram Union Naval Schenkel shell. It's a rare find, and luckily it's already safe. This farmer briefly became an astronaut, and no, this is not the plot of Interstellar. He arrived at his field and found it covered in pieces of a spacecraft. Researchers believe they were fragments of the SpaceX Dragon used during the Crew 1 mission in 2020. Nolan probably won't be interested in this story, but the farmer will definitely have something to tell his family. Imagine getting the chance to open 100-year-old safe deposit boxes that once belonged to wealthy people. What would you expect to find inside? Well, let's test your instincts. Documents and letters, precious jewelry, and even a retro camera. All of these things may have belonged to passengers on the Titanic, but now they'll be sent to a museum, unless someone locates the next of kin. After finding something metal in the ground, this man used his excavator and spent the whole night trying to pull out a fuel tank. Now that's an unexpected find. These people have no idea they bought a house with a pool. The only catch is it was under the living room floor and the owners plan to use it as a cellar. Who wouldn't want to find an unknown Monet or Magritte masterpiece in their house? But this girl only found a couple of paintings from a garage sale. They may not be valuable, but they are beautiful. The construction workers had to be evacuated when the equipment started pulling 1936 shells out of the ground, one after another, 170 of them in total. But it turned out those 6 tons of explosives were no longer dangerous and were only good for scrap metal. When you find a secret safe, you immediately feel like a millionaire. But sometimes this is how it turns out. The owner of this safe clearly had a sense of humor. If you want to find a historical relic, try wandering through abandoned European houses, and maybe you'll get lucky enough to find knight swords or something like that.
It's from Game of Thrones. What do you think?
I don't know.
What was hidden inside a chest from 1910 in an old villa? Its owner turned out to be an avid traveler who had collected dozens of souvenirs from around the world. And we're not talking basic fridge magnets here, people, but actual rarities. This Centurion Barv used to take part in battles, but in retirement, it changed careers and became the most brutal piece of farm equipment around. This woman found an experienced Van Helsing kit in the attic, and if I were her, I'd start taking a very close look at the neighbors. A farmer dug up a mysterious stone in his field that weighed about 5 tons, so he gathered a whole fleet of equipment to haul it away. You can't help but wonder how the enormous object ended up underground in the first place. When you buy a house from 1840, don't be surprised if you suddenly fall into a 5-meter well. The owner miraculously wasn't hurt, and now he knows old houses are full of surprises. What kid doesn't dream of feeling like a pirate finding treasure? Well, thanks to one grandfather who buried his coin collection 30 years earlier, his grandkids got to live that dream. Old mansions aren't the only places one can find a secret room. This couple found a hidden door in their Airbnb rental in Colorado. Despite the "Do Not Open" sign, they took the risk and found nothing unusual. But if they'd seen Barbarian, they would have known how differently things could have gone. What do you do when you find a well inside a house? Well, this person decided to explore it. Luckily for him, this one didn't contain a creepy girl with long black hair, just a horseshoe and a few other little things. While going through his parents' stuff, this guy found a map of the yard with a marked spot and dug up a chest with his cousin's initials on it. But the prize wasn't as interesting as the quest. Inside was just an old camera case and dirt. A mysterious shipping container hidden in the woods sounds like the beginning of a detective story, but it turned out to be a storage space full of building materials and old windows, basically the perfect kit for building a greenhouse. In Macon, utility workers opened a safe that had been found buried in Tyndall Heights. Expectations were high, but inside were 2 cassette tapes, a note from a plumber from 1992, 12 cents, and a bunch of keys. And now there are even more questions. This family was planning to replace the carpet in the kitchen and ended up finding Victorian tile from the 19th century. The renovation turned out to be much faster and much cooler than expected. While clearing junk out of the house, the new owners stumbled upon a collection of horror movie props, a skull, an old dentist chair, and dozens of other strange items that had been piling up since the 1920s. This family lived in a house for 4 years without knowing about its secret room until they started renovating. Now, all they need is a TV and a PlayStation, and it's the perfect hideout from the kids. For 80 years, this empty lot behind the house kept its secret until heavy rain washed away the soil, revealing a World War II bunker. It never hurts to find something like that. Sometimes it helps to know what an anti-tank mine looks like, so if you find one at your cabin, you don't touch it. Call the experts instead, exactly like this man did. We've already seen some secret rooms. Now, take a look at secret doors inside doors. These vintage sliding panels were preserved during the renovation, and that was definitely the right call. In a hidden nook under the stairs, the owners found boxes with newspapers, belongings, and a letter. In it, the author admits that these are only fragments of a tragic love story he was never able to forget. How is that not a movie script? People keep what matters most to them in safes, and inside this unexpected find was a photo of a dog. Honestly, 100% understandable. Construction workers get surprise finds too. These guys were digging a tunnel when they uncovered a 100-year-old gold miner's shaft. A secret room in a house could be a shelter or a hiding place, but this man was definitely not expecting to find Trading Spaces from a 90s TV show. His cat is gonna love it. While repairing a vintage roof, the owner got a nice bonus: rare coins hidden under the covering. The eagles, though, I'd put those back where they were. What should you do when you find an original bathroom from 1913 during renovations? That's right, restore it and enjoy having something no one else does. For years, this guy had no idea that he had an entire museum under his feet, a cellar with a collection of old bottles roughly 100 to 150 years old. I don't understand why anyone would hide something this beautiful behind a white wall. After 60 years, these flowers are finally seeing daylight again. The best thing I've ever found inside a wall was maybe some old newspaper, but look at the collectibles this guy found. Where do you even get that much luck? Here's an unexpected bonus that happened during a kitchen renovation: a new set of silver cutlery. Now the owners can dine like fancy aristocrats. This guy has something in common with King Arthur. He pulled out his own sword, and not from a stone, but from the roots of an old tree in his yard. A lot of kids play knights and dream of having a real sword, but this guy actually found an antique Templar sword in the woods behind his house. No one expected this: a pile of dog food inside the bathroom wall. So what was it? Cheap insulation or a mouse stash? A couple bought an old mansion and stumbled upon a hidden door with tunnels starting right behind it. They stretched far into the woods, and no one knows who built them or why. If the boards in the attic hadn't rotted through, the owner would have never found the piggy bank full of coins. Back then it was just pocket change, but now this is actual treasure. 3 bottles of 107-year-old whiskey were found at an abandoned Arctic base. At least ice won't be a problem. How exciting would it be to find old letters inside a wall? I hope this woman reads them and finds the person they were meant for, like in the movie Letters to Juliet. A couple decided to treat their house for wood-boring beetles and discovered that someone else had been living under their floor. Honestly, I would have moved out right then and there. Look at how happy this woman is. No, she didn't find buried treasure, but while cleaning out her shed, she found her grandmother's sewing machine, and it still works. Sometimes it pays to do a deep clean. Who knows, maybe you'll find a bomb shelter in your house too. This bunker is still in good condition even 60 years later, but now the owners need to do some serious cleaning down there too. This family had no idea they weren't just buying a house, but an introvert's dream. There was a library in the attic, complete with books and old computers. Maybe a writer lived here. The owner thought she had an ordinary, boring house until her husband found a hidden pantry full of wine, silver dishes, and other little pieces of the past. So what would you do? Sell everything or look for the previous owners? Santa was late bringing this woman her gifts, 30 years late. While cleaning out her attic, she found some vintage dolls that someone just had forgotten to give her. This guy is lucky to be holding 100 years of his family's history, albums, photos, and negatives. When he developed a negative from the 1920s, he got to see his grandmother as a child with her family for the first time. What a rare chance to actually touch the past. It's 2026, and this person actually managed to find a genuine World War II rarity in his grandfather's house in England. Even after 80 years, this car still probably has sentimental value. This guy's grandmother had asked him to fix the floor multiple times. Now, he's so glad he listened to her. Do you have an attic in your house? No? Check again. This family thought the same thing. Think Rodin came up with the thinker? Well, then take a look at this miniature that was found in a residential area in Israel. It's about 4,000 years older. This couple's housewarming was clearly a success after they found hundreds of bottles of 30 to 40-year-old wine in the basement. But they were smart and didn't drink it, instead selling it for $500 a bottle. While inspecting an abandoned house, this woman saw a shadow in the doorway and shouted, "Jesus!" And that's exactly who it turned out to be. It's always a great feeling to finally find your keys, but this woman was especially happy because she finally found the keys to a 50-year-old music box. This couple wanted to put a bathroom here, but an unexpected discovery changed their plans. Now, it's going to be a cozy living room with a fireplace. The best part of this kitchen renovation was the bonus hidden cellar, perfect for storing food. Electrician Davide Renzoni never could have imagined that while working at Villa Farnesina in Rome, he would find 17th century frescoes. No one had laid eyes on them in over 200 years, so this was truly a cause to celebrate for art historians. A real train fanatic like Sheldon Cooper must have lived in this house. Just look at the giant railroad hidden inside. If only someone could bring it back to life. Talk about lucky. This guy bought a broken washing machine for parts, and there turned out to be a hidden stash of money inside. Now he has more than enough for a new washer. Near a cabin that looked like something out of an old fairy tale, these people found stoves and fireplaces that were just as antique. You can still feel the warmth in them because they were once the heart of the home. "What wind brings you here?" was all this man could say when he saw someone else's boat on his property. Obviously, it was a storm wind. Historical battles leave behind plenty of mysteries, like this cannonball from a ship's cannon found on the grounds of a 14th century estate several miles from the seashore. Apparently, you can even find a phone in a well. Just imagine how upset its owner must have been when he dropped it. Some grandchildren inherit antiques from their grandparents, while others get a 30-year-old jar of moonshine and a funny family story. So what cool or funny things have you found in your life? Share your stories, subscribe to our channel, and be on the lookout for new videos coming soon. See ya!